Well, good morning, everyone. I am May Burasa, and I am going to discuss the understanding of psychosocial dimension. So, my topic is all about understanding of psychosocial dimension. There are many ways through which the psychosocial dimension of gender and sexuality can be understood and explained. Our experience of gender and sexuality is generally a relational experience. Why? Because as individuals, we have our own affect or our emotions and feelings. Cognition is our thought and behavior is our actions. There are some elements of gendered self which are best viewed in an ecological context, that is, in the circumstances in our physical and social environment. Four dimensions: psychological dimension, multifaceted dimension, biological dimension, and social-cultural dimension. First, let's talk about the biological dimension. The biological dimension of our sexuality involves our physical appearance, especially the development of physical sexual characteristics, responses to sexual stimulation, our ability to reproduce, and growth and development. Multifaceted dimension. In this dimension, we learn the social-cultural meaning of gender. The first words our parents heard after we were born declared our biological gender. It's a girl or it's a boy. Parents bought crib sheets and clothes that were pink or blue na magmatch sa ating gender. So we soon learned the social-cultural meaning of gender. Boys and girls are socialized to play in different styles and usually learn to prefer different sets of toys, which is pag boys is cars or robots and girls is Barbie doll or something pink. Psychologically, girls show their emotions whereas boys learn to suppress emotions. Female is more expressive verbally than male. Socially, there are many gender inequalities. For example, in workplace, usually ang boys ay mas higher ang kanilang salary compared sa girls, or it is also known as wage gap. Dimension and social-cultural dimension are already discussed by Ms. Barrios last meeting. Components of psychosocial health. These are social, spiritual, mental, and emotional. Let's talk about mental health. The term mental health is used to describe the thinking dimension of our health. A mentally healthy person perceives life in realistic ways, can adapt to change, can develop rational strategies to solve problems, and can carry out personal and professional responsibilities. Also, a mental health person has the intellectual ability to learn and use information effectively and strive for continued growth. Is the emotional health. The term emotional health refers to the feelings. Emotions are intensified feelings that we experience on regular basis, including love, hate, frustration, anxiety, and joy. As rational beings, we are responsible for evaluating our individual responses, the causes, and the appropriateness of our actions. Pag emotionally healthy ang isa ka person, they usually responds appropriately to upsetting events. They express their feelings, communicate with others, and show their emotions in appropriate way. While in contrast, when they are emotionally unhealthy, more likely they let their feelings overpower them. They highly violate and prone to unpredictable emotional responses, which may be followed by inappropriate communication or actions. Spiritual and spiritual are also discussed by Ms. Barrios last meeting.
Present day, ma'am, and to you, my classmates. I am Helena May Candido, your next presenter from the Group 2. My topic is all about awareness, intimacy, and relationship. So later on, we will know what is the importance of these three things or how does it contributes to the psychosocial dimension of a person's gender and sexuality. To begin with, let us all know what is awareness. Awareness is defined as our conscious understanding of something. It is a state or condition of being conscious, being awake, or aware. There is a sense of one's personal or collective identity that includes our attitudes, beliefs, and sensitivities. Also, this awareness is our ability to directly know and perceive, such as our thoughts, emotions, feelings, and even we are aware on whatever happenings to our environment in different situations and even to ourselves and to others. This is why there are two kinds of awareness that I am going to discuss later, the self-awareness and the other awareness. So as gendered and sexually created human beings, we face different things every day. We become curious, we ask questions, we make choices, decisions. Through this awareness, we are able to think straight on what to do or act because we learn from our experiences, not just only from our own, also to what we have observed and adopt from the environment. Diba, we are fond of listening to radios, watching movies, news, documentary videos, and many more from the internet or other mediums. For example, we became aware that, uy, ganito pala mangyayari if I use illegal drugs, magiging addict ako, it will deteriorate my mental health, my physical body. If I engage to premarital sex, ganito mangyayari. These are the long-term effects. Being pregnant at a young age, mas dagdag lang ako sa poverty ng country natin. So these are some of the hot issues nowadays that everybody should be aware of. With the use of technology, we became more aware because there are different informations na makukuha natin that we can reflect, we can contemplate from it. Kumbaga, ginagawa natin tong awareness as a shield or cover for future situations that we are going to face. Also, we should be aware or we must be aware most importantly to ourselves as we are in constant process towards self-awareness. Meaning, constant process, pag panganak pa lang sa atin, hindi tayo aware sa mga bagay-bagay. Kung habang lumalaki tayo, mas nagkakaroon tayo ng mga knowledges na ating na-adapt or galing sa mga influences. Alright, so now let us know what is self-awareness. Self-awareness involves being aware of different aspects of self, including our traits, behaviors, and feelings. Essentially, it is a psychological state in which oneself becomes the focus of attention. Self-awareness is significant for us to become a better decision makers as well as building better relationship to others. We become more confident to ourselves, so as a result, we can communicate with clarity and intention. This will allow us to understand and think from multiple perspectives. It is helpful to ask questions to ourselves, and sometimes we are doing it right. This could help us know and understand ourselves more or to become self-aware. So here are some of the questions that we ask psychologically or the things that we already know and we continually discover and develop. First is who and what I am. What do I like or dislike? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What motivates me and what are my aspirations? Also, these are some of the self-awareness questions that relates to the context of gender and sexuality. First, what am I physiologically? 2. Am I happy with what I am? How do I feel about myself as a sexual being? Is there anything good I should do? If you are to ask yourself, can you say that you are already self-aware with your gender preference? So, as a teenager, it is important to take some time to ask and contemplate with yourself because this is also for your own good. We are social beings. We live in relation to others. Hence, as we try to understand ourselves more, we are also in a constant process towards other awareness. That is, understanding others. So these are some of the questions that will test us if we are aware to others or we have the awareness towards other people. So first, what is the other's motivations, preferences, and aspirations? 2. Where am I positioned in her or his life, or where is he or she positioned in my life? 3. How different I am and others. No, so these questions reminds sa to nga we are different from other people, this also reminds us that we are not just only or we should not be only aware to ourselves but also to others na kung tama ba nilang ginabuhat, kung unsa man na ilahang mga preferences, kung unsa ilahang mga motivations ilahang life for us to be able to cope up, for us to be able to kanang musundog sa ilaha na ani dapat ang buhaton, na aware ta sa others ilahang mga behaviors, ilang attitudes nga dapat dili ta mo kuyog ana nga tao kay kuan na sila ana ilang binuhatan, dapat kani mo kuyog ta ani ng mga tao kay buutan ni. Next, let us proceed to intimacy and relationship. So human relationship cannot be established without communication and interaction. If these elements or factors are present, we begin to have a bond to them, and that will definitely start our connection or relationship to other. We have the choice to have or keep a distance in each other's lives. We became aware to them that we can share our personal thoughts, feelings, emotions. So did human relationships vary or has the frequency that also depends to our self-awareness and other awareness towards other people. Like for example, to our relationship with family, to our relationship with friends, to our romantic relationships, to our spiritual relationships, to God. So, diba, no man is an island. Nature na to mga tao na nag-build ta og mga relationship to others, nag-interact ta, nag-communicate ta. That is why naatay mga friends karon, natay lain-laing circle of friends because as human being, diba, tag-adlaw na atay ma-meet na new people, kailangan na to makipag-interact. So that is why daghan kaayo ang uban, daghan kaayo friends, ang uban gamay ra kaayo because ginapili nilag maayo or dili lang jud kayo sila ganahan makipag-interact sa uban. Ang uban pod naa sila sa circle of friends nga ay kanang lain kaayo mga ginabuhatan, o di ba? Ang naa sila ang uban families, di ba, na ay families na happy kaayo kana strong kaayo sila relationship, ang uban dili. So naga-differ ang ato ang relationship towards other people. Isa pod ka advantage ang pagbuo og relationship to other people because we can share our feelings, emotions na atay tao na matakbuhan or madaganan in terms ka na atay mga problema, na atay mga kasakit sa kinabuhi, di ba? Na atay mga kalipay na gusto natong i-share sa uban, na natay tao or naay mga tao na andam nga motabang sa ato or andam maminaw sa ato ang mga kadramahan sa kinabuhi, especially nga karon na pandemic, no, kailangan nato og tao nga masandalan, especially sa atong family nga daghan kaayo og mga problema nowadays. So if we establish or build a relationship towards other, while in these relationships we share resources and emotions. So that is what we call intimacy. The process of knowing others and allowing others to know us. Intimacy, if kinina particular na tao, we can denote mutual vulnerability. We are confident to share our big and small secrets, as well as problems, events, and there is a sense of closeness. That is intimacy. There is what we call the intimate relationship, wherein it involves physical or emotional intimacy. Although an intimate relationship is commonly a sexual relationship, it may also be a non-sexual relationship. So lastly, the socialization, the process by which we learn cultural norms and traditions. This is also how we behave in relation to other people, with due consideration to social expectations related to our gender. So example, pag babae ka, kailangan babae ang imong friends. So naay ubang culture na nag-practice gihapon sila yung ani na dapat kung babae ka, babae lang dapat ang imong friends. So today, nowadays, we have the freedom to choose our circle of friends, diba? Kung babae ka, pwede ka maka-friends o mga lalaki. So there is what we call social expectations, no? Kailangan kung ingani mo ang gender, kailangan ingani pud mong ginabuhat. So through socialization, we are able to execute or act accordingly. Diba? Kung babae ka, kung lalaki ka, dapat ingani dapat kabalo ka mo socialize to other people in order to become a citizen. No, kailangan ni mo musunod sa mga orders. Nowadays, there are different types of socialization, no? Na ay face-to-face na socialization. There are socialization through technology, no? Through internet, we are meeting new people. How we make choices to balance out personal and social goals, making sense of our experiences, the influences of our environments, and integrate this interpretation into our own choices. To conclude with, it is through or it will always start on awareness. Our consciousness to ourselves or the self-awareness and to others or the other awareness in order to build a relationship as well as the variation of giving or showing our intimacy to others. And with this, we are able to behave accordingly through our socialization, making considerations and giving meaning to things in manner, especially to teenagers nowadays that continuously exploring to different things, making new experiences, meeting new people in their daily life with their identity or their genders or sexuality. And that would be all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Noreen Mee Blaswala, and I will be the first one to discuss the well-being as a psychosocial goal, and the rest will go to Melanie Cervantes. So first, let's define what is psychosocial. So psychosocial is pertaining to the influence of social factors on an individual's mind or behavior, and to the interrelation of behavior and social factors. So psychosocial factors are characteristics or facets that influence an individual psychologically and or socially. Such factors can describe individuals in relation to their social environment and how this affects physical and mental health. So example of psychosocial factors include social support, loneliness, marriage status, social disruption, bereavement, work environment, social status, and social integration. And then what is well-being? So, well-being is the states of being healthy, safe, comfortable, and happy. So, well-being is includes having good mental health, high life satisfaction, a sense of meaning or purpose, and ability to manage stress. More generally, well-being is just feeling well. So next is let's what is psychosocial well-being? Um, is psychosocial well-being is a multidimensional construct consisting of psychological, social, and subjective components which influence the overall functionality of individuals in achieving their true potential as members of society. So, psychosocial well-being incorporates the physical, economic, social, mental, emotional, and cultural, spiritual determinants of health. So, well-being of an individual includes coping with the various stresses of everyday living and realization of the full potential of an individual as a productive member of society. So, this state of well-being motivates the development of life skills which enables individuals, families, or communities to understand and engage with their environment and make healthy. So, well-being as a psychosocial goal. The ultimate goal of understanding the psychosocial aspect of our experience is well-being, a state of satisfaction, meaning, and purpose. So there are two sides of well-being: the objective well-being and the subjective well-being. So one objective well-being, one is kind of well-being which observe outward and can be evaluated through the presence or absence of particular element in our environment. In the aspects of gender and sexuality, here are some of the questions to ask. Does the physical environment allow expression to diversity? Does physical infrastructure mitigate any possibility of abuse and violence related to gender? Second one is, our material resources, money, properties equitably available to men, women, and other people in the different genders? Are these resources sufficient for them? Are there health systems which cater to gender-related needs? Are there wellness programs that supports women, men, and people of different gardens? So, another sides of well-being is a personal experience of satisfaction, meaning, and purpose. This is referred as to the subjective well-being. It is subjective because it is pertains to on our own appreciation of how well we are. Sometimes even when the environment fully provides for all our needs, we remain unsatisfied and thus having low sense of subjective well-being. There are also moments where environment has shortcomings, but we are at peace and satisfied within. In a common term, the closeness word to also mean subjective well-being is happiness. Of the question to us are the as follows. So how far is your sense of satisfaction about the various areas of your life as a sexual being? Is your purpose as a person clear to you? And not yet, what are doings to clarify and purpose? And that's all. Next slides will be discussed by Melanie Cervantes, the dimensions of well-being.